Yeah, I thought we started well, but I thought overall they just it's been a bit of a common theme where teams come in here bring their best game of footy and physically we couldn't match it with them tonight, and so that's something that we need to address. Once we got a bit of scoreboard pressure on us, you could see I thought we were trying really hard, but we didn't have the the flow that we've had in our attack. We didn't, it just didn't, click for us tonight. So so disappointing. We get a break next week. It's the coaches, myself, and the coaches, working out how we can arrest teams coming here and beating us up physically, and so that's our job to do that.
How concerned are you that you can't stop this pattern?
I think, Michael, it's we just got to be careful there. I think the last 6 weeks, we haven't had a great deal of consistency in terms of we've had some pretty significant changes in the team over the course of the last 6 weeks. So, and that's not an excuse, but that has an effect. And we need to, and I think that happens to most teams in the competition. But some of the changes that we've had in the side over the course of the last 6 weeks have been pretty significant in terms of the personnel of who they are. But in terms of addressing teams coming here and getting us physically, then we've got to come up with a game plan that's going to help us counteract that, and so that's that's my job to do that, and the guys are, if they're committed to on board to making sure that we buy into it, then I'm sure we'll move forward.
So you spoke during the week about the need for defensive energy. Was that effort there?
Yeah, I thought, as I said, I thought the guys, they scored a couple of, I thought, soft tries, in the first half, the big fellas, and they are, the Burgess twins, close to the line. We don't like giving up those sorts of tries, and even the shifts to the edge, I thought, were pretty easy, but how they got into those positions, because we lost the tackle or gave a penalty away further upfield, and so that stuff we need to fix, and so that's important we do that.
Tohu, what do you put it down to, being unable to lift at home?
Yeah, Mook's mentioned it before. Teams have been coming here and bringing their best, and we haven't put that on the field, especially at home. We've been a bit inconsistent the last month and a bit, and but we've shown that we can match teams physically. We can do that on the field, but it's just being able to do that every week, back in that effort up every week, and we seem to be just going week on week off at the moment, and we've just got to find that little thing that will help us do that on game day, because I feel like our trainings have been consistent. It's just that 80 minutes on the weekend that we don't seem to be putting it out there.
So the three of your losses have been fairly significant. Can you feel a panic or a desperation or anything like that out there when things start to go against you in games?
No, it's there wasn't any panic up there. I guess that's pleasing. The pleasing thing, it's just it's just matching the physicality of the sides, and when they finding that thing that when they get a roll on, we've got to be able to match it or stop it and turn that momentum in our favour. And we haven't done a good job against that against the teams in those 3 losses. And we need to find a way that works for us that does flip the momentum in our favour. And but we know it's not going to be any sort of trick or any easy way out of it. It's the good teams have to grind their way out of it, and that's something that we know we have to do, and we've got to find that little thing that will help us do that.
Steve, could you talk a little bit about the week for Roger, maybe how tricky it was for him, and just the way he responded tonight? It's a pretty strong game out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's done terribly well, considering the circumstance. I think he's been on sort of tender hooks the whole week, and sometimes when you come into a contest like that with that sitting in the back of your mind, it can be pretty difficult, pretty challenging. So no, he's a thorough professional. He handles that sort of thing well. He's it's a pretty big distraction, but he puts it to the side. And as we saw tonight, I thought he played, as you mentioned, played pretty well.
When was it sort of 100% guaranteed he was going to play tonight?
When he ran on the field, yeah. So, no. So nothing's happened as yet. So.
How's his ankle?
Yeah, no, he goes in for a scan tomorrow, but I think he'll be okay. Yeah.
Is the bye a timely one for you, Stephen, just to address these concerns you've spoken about tonight?
Yeah, I think let's not forget. I reckon the team, and as I mentioned earlier, we probably had a inconsistent month or so, but we've worked really hard to get ourselves in a position that we find ourselves in, and after the bye, we'll be pretty much still in that same position, if not a spot or 2 below, and the guys have worked really hard at that to get themselves there. And so the buys come at an opportune time to for the group to take stock of where we're at and our improvements and the learnings that we've had particularly over the last 6 weeks, and reset ourselves for the push forward for the back half of the year. And I'm certainly excited about that.
Steve, how did you feel the changes in the halves? How did coming in? Did that affect you guys?
Well, I thought, tonight when you get scoreboard pressure and like we had tonight, I think you could see, essentially we just had the one kicker and Greeny trying to organise stuff and puts a lot of pressure on Greeny. You can see them really going after him, when he had the footy, when he was kicking, or when he was trying to set up play. So I have, in terms of how much effect it had, I'm not 100% sure, but it does throw a bit of that out, in terms of, as I said earlier in the press conference, it was about the flow of how we attack. It certainly does affect it.
And how's Isaiah? What was the call behind leaving him?
Yeah, again, it was just because Bailey was going to play on the bench, and I needed a cover for an outside back, and he's fortunate that he can play dummy half and also cover as an outside back, Carl. So there was no reasoning. It was just what I thought was best for the team tonight.
Thanks,
Awesome, boss.